This is Mikhail, and today I'm gonna check the. If you have been hearing the news, the Adobe XD Flutter plugin had been dropped on Wednesday, which is today, and this was announced in Flutter Interact event last year, and it was really impressive when it was showcased. And today I'm gonna check that. By the way, I didn't use XD at all, so this is first time that I will try to do something like that, and hopefully we'll see the results. And if you have been following the news, you can check the Medium article here, which by Tim announcing the Adobe XD support for Flutter. This is still an early plugin. There is some issues which is explored in the release notes described here. If you will open it, it should take you to the GitHub repo, and here you would find how to get this installation. By the way, you need to have the latest XD installed at your machine, and from there you can check the plugin. There is some dependencies need to be added in the pubspec YAML, and also there is some issues which is mentioned here. There is some things that need to be noted, like unsupported features. You need to go that because there's some things like masks, stroke joints, stuff like the blurring, brightness, and stuff non other issues. So still talking about an early release for that plugin, and let's get started with that. So you need to open Adobe XD, and you will find here on add-ons, you can go to plugins, and then you can start searching for Flutter. And once you've done that, if you scroll down, you will find the XD to Flutter plugin, which export designs to Dart code. By the way, one thing to note is that you need to have a project. You need to create a project first to export this asset, because when in the export process, if you're trying to export in a folder, it will not generate like some project files and stuff like that. So you need to create the project yourself first, and then you can use the XD to Flutter plugin to export this assets to the your project as a Dart files. So once you got this installed, which is mentioned here, this is an early access release of version 0.1.0. You just hit install and you'll be good now. You can generate whatever you want. So let's create an empty project and check what we can do from that. So I will be minimizing or closing this for now, and I will create a new folder here, and I name it Flutter XD, and I'll be opening the terminal from here, and I will be issuing Flutter create Adobe XD test. And now we creating a new Flutter project that we can use to test the new XD plugin. So once that's finished, we can cd inside that folder, and we can open it by VS Code. So basically we created just the counter project, the default counter project that comes with the Flutter project when you do the create. And we will clean some things up here. So I will hit Control Command R. This is Command R. It's not acting. Command 5. Something. Yeah, Control Find. And what I will do now, I will just hit auto slash dot asterisk, and I will highlight the regular expression here. So it will select all the comments and I can replace them like that. Save, and let's remove the home, and I will just create a new widget. My home page is just like a stateful stateless widget. Let's name it home, and I'll put an empty container now, and I will refer to home here. So this is a Flutter XD demo, and I will save that. Let's close this, and I'll open a new terminal, and I will issue a Flutter run. So now the project will be start to build, to run in a debug mode. During that we will open the Adobe XD, and I will be creating a new design here, a new prototype. So I will create a new for iPhone X, XS and 11 Pro. And just double click that. So one thing to note as we open now the GitHub repo, it's mentioned that we need a dependency which is Adobe XD. So I will be adding this to my project, so I will stop. Yeah. So I will go to PubSpec.yaml. PubSpec.yaml file, under the Cupertino icons I will add the dependency. I will save that. I will down on the terminal I will hit Ctrl+C to end the building process. So as from now we have a newer version. I don't know, we can upgrade or no, so I will stick safely with it now. I think we upgrade, we'll check what it would be. Now I'm saving. When I will save, it will issue a Flutter get to bring these dependencies, and I will go back to the XD. Now this is what this is our artboard, I believe so. So what we can do is that one. So this is a little bit okay. So I'm guessing that we can add some sort of navigation bar here. We'll add some text inside that. We'll say welcome or home screen. Okay, I'll try to center this like that. Maybe I will put like a circle here. So I'm putting a circle, but if I'm pressing shift, I can adjust that. So I'll put here like a circle. I'll move it, for example, in the middle or in the center. Let's put it in the center and check what would be the Flutter code generated for that, if it will be like that. Okay, I will put a fill color for that. Let's check, maybe red. Let's make it a little bit like that. that one I will put uh, I'm not copying the material design, but I'm just want to check what would be the things generated for us if we starting to do that. And that way I will make that font. I will make it I don't know, it will export that same font, or it will be also we need to refer to the things that it was working and not working regular. I will make it bold. So we have bold here, and the color, the fill color, I will make it white. And so let's stick with this thing now. I just added an app bar. You can name it an app bar. I don't know what it would be named there inside. And we have here a text centered, like home screen. And also we have this circle in the middle, in the center. So I will be saving that as a new file, like Flutter shapes. Let's make it Flutter shapes test. I will use my computer save. Okay, because this is not the first time I am. And now to export this to Flutter, I will export this like widgets to Flutter. I will go down to the plugin section, which is mentioned down. Here you will find the plugin installed, and one of them, or the one I installed, is XD to Flutter plugin. So I'll click on that, and here we will have a UI panel, which I can specify where is my Flutter project. So I will point that to the desktop. So I'll go here and go to desktop, Flutter XD test. That is the project, and there's nothing here. The code bus in the left folder. The image bus, it will be an assets image. Let's put an image. We'll try that. Okay, so I will just drag and drop one image. I have here from my downloads starter. Just put an image as for fun. I will add it here. This is a very big image, so what I will do now is that I will resize that image and make it like that. I will stick it to the bottom of the screen. I will just make it to fit inside, so we will test also that image, how it will be on our project. So I'll save that again, so that if there is any images which like that, we can put it inside the it will be added in the assets image. And if we want to add a widget name prefix, for example Adobe XD or whatever, that we need to specify this widget namings, so we can add it here. And there's some other settings like prototype interactions. If you edit some interactions, because we can do here a prototype. So in prototype, I can, for example, I can click on that shape, and I can just do some interaction with other artboard if there's anything here. But see, this what would be exported for us. Now this is the let's go back, and I believe the image will be exported like this. So I believe that we have how many widgets here? I think it will be exported as widgets. So this one widget, second, yeah, and third. Let's start from the beginning. That one is a shape. Okay, so this will be exported. The text. This is a text, and we have here a Flutter font. We can specify the font, the text parameter, the color parameter that we can add. If there is a parameter that we are like specifying, or like parameter will be fetched the text from, and the color. If there is a parameter that it will be fetched from, like you specifying a parameter in the app that change the color or something like that, you can set it here. And this would be the font. So I believe that it will export that font, but we will see. Otherwise, it will use the Flutter font if you added Google Fonts or you have an specified fonts in the assets folder through the pub/spec YAML. It can be shown here. And then we have a shape. So I believe this will be exported as an SVG. And for that, I believe that we need to add a dependency for the SVG if it's coming as a shape. And also we have here an image, so the export name of the image and the image parameter if we have a parameter inside. Okay, so what I will do now, I will this is the resolution aware images. Let's check that. Export color assets, let's also check that. XD colors, okay, this is the color assets that it can be exported in, and prototype interactions, we don't need it now. And let's export all widgets. So it's mentioned here that exported one widget, 3 widget warnings. So I will open that. Couldn't find assets entry in pub/spec YAML, assets images. Couldn't find font entry in pub/spec YAML. Umbrella tree image doesn't have a Flutter image name. Okay, so we need to fix that before we can go. So I will switch back to the VS Code and I will go back to the pub/spec YAML and we will open the font. I will uncomment this and okay, and the assets also I will uncomment this. Oh, sorry, this, yeah, I will remove that, and I will remove this also. And let's, to be safe, put the dependency on an SVG because I believe. Let's check what happened here. So I will create a folder named assets, and let's allocate also folder for fonts. Okay, and let's check. This is what generated for us. So it generated a scaffold. Yeah, okay, a scaffold with the background that is white, and there's a stack, and it made a transform, translate, and set an offset, put the text, put the name of the font family. So I believe this is the font that we are using, same font as we have inside. And so it's translated to a position inside that thing. And also we have a container with a box decoration with a radius for the circle that we added. Okay, that's good. It means that we don't need the SVG package, I believe. And we have a border which is specified here. This is the border of that thing. And then we have an offset which set on the X and Y, which is coming in 0554, and this is the shape, the layer of the umbrella tree, the image file that I added. And we have here decoration, width and height and decoration, and it was box fill, an image asset which should be mentioned here. And it's done a good job, I believe so. So let's fix these issues and try to put this again and run this widget. So what I will do, I will take that, I will put it in the main instead of my home. So I don't need that, I will just put that. I will add a reference for it. And let's fix these issues. Let's try it again. So couldn't find assets entry in the pub/spec asset images. For assets images, couldn't find fonts, and images doesn't have an image filter name, so I will put a Flutter image name here. So I will put here a name, widget name, let's put here a name, image for export, I will name it planet. Done. And let's try this again now. I saved, I believe so. Let's save the post YAML so we can issue these things. I hope it will not scream on us. So we can't leave the assets, we can't leave the font, so okay, so we need to put something here. And let's put, okay, let's leave it and try. So I'll save that and I will try to do the export again. Export all widgets. One widget exported, 2 warnings. Couldn't find asset images, so I will create this images. Yeah, need to create inside here in assets. I will put new folder images. And I'll try this again. Export all widgets. Okay, so yeah, I need to create this, I believe so. So I will put this plant, whatever. I will add it to the VS Code. So XD require, when we done the export, it showed 2 warnings that we need to add assets / images / dot, and we couldn't find the font entry, so I need to fix both of these. So let's fix that, and we'll put here assets / images / dot, and for the font we need to download the font, which is that font if we want to use it. If you don't want to use it, we can neglect that for now. So let's download it, no problem. So I'll copy that and I'll open my browser. I'll search for that font and we have it free, so we open it, downloads, and let's put it here. Once it's downloaded, I will open it and shift the files, or copy the files inside our fonts folder. So we need the TFF file, so we have here bold, TFF and regular light. So I'll take the medium one. And we will shift it to the fonts. Now we have it here, medium. Just rename it in lowercase underscore medium. And I'll take that and I'll add an entry in our PubSpec YAML here for the font. So we need to, inside fonts, we'll make dash family, and we'll name the family name, and then we'll make fonts, and in the fonts we'll put the assets. So we will put the first asset, which is fonts / the name of our font. Again, I will copy the name of the font, copy, and this is the font family, save, and I need to put a space here, and save this down, save. So I'll open terminal to check if everything is okay. and I will issue Flutter pop get. Now it's done. Let's go back to XD and we'll do the export. I don't know why it's stuck here. We added what is needed. So what I will do, I'll try to close the project. I don't know, yeah, I can close it. Let's reopen it again. And I will go to the plugin, export widgets, and I will specify the folder again, open, and did we get any warning? We didn't get any warning. Let's try again from here. Still have the warnings and assets, images. Okay, anyway, so we have our font, we have our assets. Now we will just check again what we have. So we have a class called iPhone XXS 11 Pro, which need a renaming, by the way, because this is not acceptable by the standards. So we need to name it home screen, and this one should be renamed across our project. Okay, save that. And it made a build method with a scaffold with a background, which is background that we specified. If you change it and export, it will change here. Then it made a stack and put the children inside the stack based on first the container. So it didn't put an app bar, but it put a container. So you need to take that in mind because it doesn't know what is the app bar. So it put a container on the top with this color, which is the color that we made here. And after that, it made a text on an offset based on the place that we specified, and then it put a text style with the font family that we specified with the font size, and what was the color of that, and what is the weight, font weight, and it assigned the font line to the left. So I think that we need to change it from the XD so it can reflect on here. Then we have a container which containing our circle, filled circle. So it made a border for it and made a fill color for it and made again that border. And at the bottom we have also a transform translate to put the position with the offset, and it put the shape or the image that we added, which is umbrella tree, which is our image that we added here in the assets inside the image. And by the way, we have here new, there is files generated for us. This is a 2x, and I think the resolution a little bit. So the file, this is a smaller file, and we have the main file a couple times. So it's planet.jpg. So yeah, so we don't need our file because it created this 3 files, 2 folders, 2x and 3x, 3.0.x, 3.0x and 2.0x, and it resized the file and put the main file here. It didn't put the font though, so we left with that. And there's a class with the colors, but it didn't specify the colors here. So this is roughly a thing. Let's try to run it and check if it will look like same or not. Flutter. So we'll open our simulator. and we have an issue that the class name is not same here, so we need to I forgot to save. I believe this will fail, so let's rerun that again. Let's minimize everything so to check if we have any errors here. The name of the file also need to change because it's named based on the art board that specified there. So there is some naming conventions need to be maintained, and we'll pop up our MU later here, simulator. So I was expecting that the centered, this should be like a center inside that container. So we have a container and then I can put it as a center, not a stack type. And also the shape, the circle's shape in the middle. I was expecting that to be centered. But it seems that everything is like set up as a stack based. So maybe in the future version that it can be detected that it's like center the screen or center the object, so it can be contained inside that thing instead of creating all this, because as we see here it's created like 4 widgets. So this is the first widget, and the second widget was the text. First widget was the rectangle, the second is the text, and the third was the circle, and the fourth is the image that we put in the lower place. So this finished now, and it's installing and running now, and we should see some, oh, okay, we can fix this. I mean, it can be, it's not a big deal for us, but I mean, if it's complicated design, we need to dig deep, but it launched the thing as a little bit expected. I expect this to be at the bottom down, but it was not. Circle, I think the wideness, maybe the Pro Max is different than the Pro, or that's why it came like that. So with a little bit adjustment, we can center the stuff and we can put it, but so far it added the item as an exact location where it is. So this is a very good step. First good step in doing something like you can do the design in some tool like Adobe XD, and you can export this assets and you just put it as inside, not as is for now, but potentially with time it will be better laid out, and check that it's like centered or it's like in locations and responsive, because one of the things that they said that it's not responsive yet, it's mentioned on the release log. So a lot of work still working. This is version 0.1.0, so we are seeing a very early access for that thing. So with time we hope that everything was okay. Everything will be okay. So thank you so much for tuning in to check my first attempt and thoughts of using the Adobe XD Flutter plugin Flutter plugin inside Adobe XD and checking what it would do. Um, if you like my video, please subscribe and like the video. Put a thumbs up, I would be appreciated. And catch you in the next one. Thanks.